Each spring, farmers head to the field to begin a new corn growing season. It's a new dawn filled with promise and optimism. Long days and endless hours are required to get the crop planted on time. But America's corn farmers are confident their hard work will pay off at harvest with bin-busting yields. It's this quest for higher yields that makes U.S. corn farmers the envy of the world. In 2016, they produced a record 15.2 billion bushels, smashing the previous record set in 2014 by 1 billion bushels. Improved hybrids, advanced production techniques, and innovative growing practices have led the way to higher yields. But farmers will continue to look for new ways to push the yield envelope. That's one reason why the National Corn Growers Association National Corn Yield Contest is so popular. For 52 years, the contest has helped to generate and promote new production practices that impact production across the country. This year's yield contest was no exception. In 2016, 18 national winners in 6 categories averaged 375 bushels per acre. And for the first time ever, a record 5 national entries surpassed the 400 bushel per acre mark. Nathan Weathers and his father Byron have a long history of entering the National Corn Yield Contest in the irrigated class category. They farm in northeast Colorado near Yuma. Since they began competing in the contest, they have focused on fine-tuning their fertility program.
But one of the biggest things that we've started doing over the last 3 to 5 years is we've started applying nitrogen later in the crop life, tassel and post-tassel. We're starting to see a lot better stay green with these new hybrids. We're able to push our test weights higher, and our plant health stays healthier longer. Instead of the old die and dry, we're actually harvesting dry corn with a green plant. We've been able to increase our test weights by 10 to 15% per acre with that late nitrogen application, pretty consistent across the farm.
Micronutrients also play a big role in the Weathers fertility program.
We use mostly the same micronutrients that most people do. Manganese, boron are the 2 keys. We're starting to get into some magnesium, some different things. We pull tissue samples to try to help us figure out exactly which micronutrients we're short on or which ones we need. And we try to isolate them per hybrid, per field, and then if it's something that we're seeing across the entire farm, we try to address that micronutrient problem the next year in our starter program.
Having enough moisture is always a challenge in this part of Colorado. Irrigation is a key component of the Weathers corn production program.
Soil moisture probes have become a staple in our farming operation. It allows us to measure our water content in the soil, as well as we have salinity sensors that are at each depth. So when we're measuring salt water, we're also measuring salts, which equates to fertilizer.
Tim Durick and his sons Dan and Joe farm in the rolling hills of southwest Iowa. In 2016, they placed first in the AA no-till, strip-till, non-irrigated class with a yield of 333 bushels. Farming here can be demanding.
Our soil types in this area are clay, silt, loam. We have steep ground, 9 to 14% slopes and up in places. It makes it a challenge to farm, but it's very productive soil.
Like other farmers who enter the yield contest, the Duricks continue to experiment with their corn growing practices.
In the last 10 years, when we've been tweaking our contest corn, we've tried different hybrids, we've tried different relative maturities, nitrogen timing, microessentials. I think we found that the nitrogen timing and the fungicides have paid the most. As far as, and also the longer season maturities have seemed to really benefited us in this area. Yeah, I do think that, we look for new management practices, but it's also, some of it to us is just a lot of fun. Just, to try things that you can't try on a large scale, and maybe we'll find the silver bullet someday and we'll use it on 100% of the acres.
As the Duricks and other growers across the country strive to make their farms more productive, Some may ask, why do farmers keep chasing higher yields? Dan Durick has a ready answer.
To me, it's just a disservice not to know where our production can be. You know, we don't have to use it, but we should know what it is. You know, we have ethanol demand that's great. We have cars that are going to have to meet CAFE standards in the next 10 to 20 years that are going to have to use higher octane fuels, which, you know, ethanol is a great way to use that up. You know, and we still want to feed our cattle and our hogs and our poultry industries. To me, it'd be irresponsible not to.
Nathan Weathers also wants to know what his cornfields can ultimately achieve, but he enters the contest for other reasons as well.
There's more to the National Corn Growers Yield Contest than just turning in a yield and seeing if you win or not. But when you start entering the contest, you start seeing other names and you start recognizing other high yield producers. And next thing you know, you show up at meetings and you start seeing, well, hey, I know that guy. And they're the same as you are. You know, we're all farmers. So you can stand up next to each other, you can talk, you can ask questions.
You can be sure corn farmers everywhere will continue to talk and ask questions as they seek higher yields. And you can bet the National Corn Yield Contest will continue to provide corn farmers the opportunity to compete with their colleagues to grow the most corn per acre while helping to feed and fuel the world.